This is Retro City 81. Yes. Am I really online now? 45 seconds. On air 47, 48, 9, 50, 51. Oh, wow. I did not realize I'm online. I really
He
think
shall
I am.
appear from a far eastern land
Okay.
across the
Let's see
sea.
here.
A young man who has yet to know his potential. This potential is a power that could either
Retro
destroy
is
him
81.
or realize his
Testing.
will.
This is Retro
His
City.
courage shall determine his fate. The path he must traverse, fraught with adversity, I await whilst praying. For this destiny predetermined since ancient times. A pitch
Retro
black
is
night
81
unfolds
online
with
here,
the morning
on
star
air.
as its only light.
Retro
And
is
thus the
81.
saga
Yes,
begins.
I am online. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in my broadcast. Testing one more time to reassure myself I'm really online. It's late at night, so I'm a little tired and not perceiving what I think I am. Let's see. Okay, mute microphone. Unmute microphone. Hello, this is RetroZuki81. Yes, I am here. I am on air at 2 minutes and 36 seconds. On air, RetroZuki81 testing.
He shall appear from a far eastern land across
Yes,
the
okay.
sea.
So, I just, it took me longer to really know, and I'm on air. I don't have sometimes I don't have a real assurance of knowing I'm online, even because I don't have a headset. I'm not really prepared the way I would prefer to be at my preference level. I just feel like if I had a headset and if I had these things to broadcast, accordingly, then I can broadcast the way I want to, and I can really know that I'm online. I can see myself in a screen. I mean, probably that's how it is when you have like an Astro headset and a camera. You're set up, and even if if I have a monitor, a computer CPU monitor that's compatible with the PlayStation 5, I'm at a big desk, a gamer's desk in my room with a nice comfortable chair that I can stay in there for a few hours, and I want to really be assured too, if I can be assured that I'm not going to get cut off in the middle of the broadcast because there's some faulty connection for whatever reason. Maybe the NSA or the FCC or some kind of other, source of, some kind of security administration in our country of the United States is monitoring very much what I'm saying and what I'm doing. I don't want them just kick me off and not like me or whatever. That's not a good thing. So I don't want that. I don't know why. I don't know why the other day, which is 1 or 2 days ago, I was broadcasting from Shenmue Part 2. Shenmue Part 2, let's see where this goes. And there's a piece of candy emoji. I wanted to see where this goes, and where it went was they cut off like an hour and a half of what I broadcasted, and only gave me 59 minutes of it. and that was not cool. So what's it say? Landy will never get the other mirror. Really? Really?
Thank you, Ine-san.
Okay, well, what do I need to do today? Oh, wait. Let me take a look here. Let's have a look. I've got my cassette player. This is not going to open the vault. I cannot stick in this Sega. I've never seen a Sega cassette player like this. I've never seen that. Oh, is that what it is? A cassette player? So I could probably record somebody's voice with this cassette player if it was like in real life. You know what I mean? If I had a cassette player or a voice recorder, oh, even if it was like a cassette player like this. See this? This is a 1980s. Looks like a vintage today, 1980s. Well, it's got Sega brand, but I don't know why it would be Sega brand. Sega brand. You know what this reminds me of, everybody? When I really take a look at this, man, and I'm thinking right now, after 30 years of not broadcasting, 30 years of being in the, going back to that time when I did the fight choreography, and I remember my teacher and teachers, like a plural too, the conversations I had with this first karate teacher, and the times we spent even after class. If it was like we took 15 minutes to leave the changing room, just from every time, or 20 minutes sometimes to leave, because we had some in-depth conversations. Like, we had ideas, we exchanged ideas, me and these teachers. I mean, one teacher to a few teachers. I would exchange ideas and get to know my teachers. So, this is what happened, and this is what helped create Shenmue, really. I think it did. It's just what I believe to, like, I'm thinking, like, did they sell some ideas they came up with, those teachers, and give it to Sega? Well, I don't want to just say that. I don't want to make anyone look like, look, how do I say it? Look like bad or anything. It's not what I'm trying to do. But what I'm saying is that Sega, the name of Sega is on this cassette player. And if you take a look here, the red button obviously would mean record. And the next two would be play and stop thinking. So the red button would mean you're recording. I can't actually do that. See, this doesn't mean nothing. So what I'm thinking with this cassette player, let me see here too. So I can buy cassettes. Yeah, I can buy them. I can play them on here, but I have to actually buy the cassettes from the stores, and that I don't think I've done yet. Story items collection. No, I didn't buy any cassettes, but I can. Oh, I did buy some, didn't I? Well, you have to click on a cassette, and then you can try to play it. Oh, maybe I can't play it here. Oh, that's weird. You can't play it here. I didn't know that. That's weird. I remember in Shenmue Dreamcast you could always play the cassettes. Now, why is it I can't play it right here in my house? That is odd. Yes. Anyways, what I want to get to with this cassette player is this. I remember my teacher, okay, one of my teachers had a cassette player that looked like this. Sort of looked like this. But it was basically, it was a cassette player that you could record something. You could record, like, let's say perhaps you could record somebody's voice, somebody saying something. Like if I said something to my teachers, they could record that. And this is what I'm claiming here too. I remember they recorded me saying different information on cassette, or it was on their player. And I don't know if they threw it away now. I don't know if they destroyed it, but I remember they had this. And let me say, I don't want them to destroy any evidence. Please do not be offended by me, my karate teachers, anybody on your end. Don't be so offended. I'll see what I can do for you guys if I can. I don't want to make you guys feel bad, make you guys get angry at me on your end. Let me see what I can do. Let's see what we all can do. If it comes to that, I don't want to make anyone my enemy. I really don't. And I could really talk business with these people, I'm thinking, but do not destroy the evidence. Don't do that. I don't know where the evidence would be for this Shenmue, if they'd have any of it. There's pictures of this Shenmue. There was items that helped make this Shenmue. They took some pictures of me with, in the Shenmue get up. I remember they had pictures of me. There was a few pictures of me, if that. Like in the Shenmue jacket, and in a jeans I would wear with this suede jacket that I always wore that year, and for those few years I was this way, whatever, I was this way mostly in 1995. But this karate way about me, this martial arts way about me, was mostly that year. I remember doing some martial arts on my own in 1993 and 4, but it's been always since 1991 to 95, and then that's the moves for Akira were done in 1991. I just went to a few classes of mine, when I was younger, when I was like 10 years old. So I went to this class of Wrestling Shibakdo Budokan Federation. But I'm just giving a basic testimony here about Akira Yuki. I can remember doing the elbow assault, the double storm, because first I just started doing a jump front kick, and then I said, let's see if you can do that with 2 legs before you land on the ground. I believe I'm the only one that can do it with 2 legs, so they call it a double storm kick. Let's give that to Akira Yuki. Let's give that later to Ryu Hazuki. And they did the same for the elbow assault that Akira Yuki does. Let's give that to Akira Yuki. Let's give that later to Ryu Hazuki, because it's the same person. And they always had in mind, I believe, to make Akira Yuki Ryu Hazuki. They had in mind something greater. When I say they, I believe there must have been some kind of collaboration with, I know one of these Dan teachers are a very high major of college degree in information technology systems. So what is that? That's another side. It's like a confidential, private side of computers and information, technology of data and science. It's related to video games too. Video games runs on a program that you have to make it. You have to know how to program to make a video game. You have to know how to to know graphic design enough. You have to know how to create the layout. Like the graphic design for this is a 3-dimensional video game that made Shenmue what it is, the open world. So this is all computers, science in a way. It's like all related. I could do this if I studied it hard enough. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do later. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. In any case, what I'm saying about this cassette player, this to me is an idea. This to me is like when they put this in the video game, for Shenmue. Well, one of these guys that were recording me. I'm not going to say definitely who he was, but you can go figure. Well, he's also a 5-0. 2 or 3 of those Dons that I train with, there's a total of 4 Dons I train with, but 2 or 3 of them were on the police force. They're in the legal system, that controlled and helped to enforce the laws of the land of America. I don't know if they were in the military too. They might have been also in the military at one point. But this is what I'm saying. They're in the legal system. They have the authority to bend and break the laws because of their badge. I'm officer da 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 5-0 cop, and I can bend the law and break the law, and you have to do what I say because I'm a law officer with a badge. That's the way the law is, because if you have a police force, you have a legal system. Well, these are people that uphold and they uphold the law. They're supposed to serve and protect the people. They're the police. That is their job. What's your job? You work at McDonald's, flipping burgers, tossing out fries, Do we remember that Donald Trump, the president of the United States today, again, there was a time when he actually worked at McDonald's, and he wanted to see what it was like to work at McDonald's. Well, he did that. I remember he was working with the fries, and he was working with people at McDonald's. This video, I saw him on YouTube doing that, because you can type it up, Donald Trump McDonald's, and you'll find videos of Donald Trump. They video record him working at McDonald's. So, if my job, was to work at McDonald's, then I could be working at McDonald's. Or if my job was to be a 5-0 law enforcement officer that is a cop, I could choose to be a policeman, on a force. I have whatever authority I have, and that's what I have. I believe they have like limited authority, the police. Like, if they're working for a city, they're working for a community or something, they have different kinds of power that they can enforce. To me, it's like a political thing too, in a way. So what I'm saying essentially is, this idea, I think, came from the police. They helped make this video game, Shenmue, and this idea of a cassette player. I know it's like a 1980s vintage looking cassette player, and to me, it's like, well, I know I'm a part of this project already that was used to make the fight choreography for this video game. I invented the moves for Shenmue, and they used that, and they must have made deals with Sega to use my moves, to use my likeness, to use my looks and everything, and that's what helped make the video game Shenmue, because I was selected and I had a real degree that made me this Ryo Hazuki for real in 1995, as well as Jin Kazama. I believe there was, I remember that year and the events that inspired Inuyasha, the anime series. That's another claim I have. I can remember times when a girl came up to me in class. I was in a science class. The science teacher's name was Dr. Watts. Mr. Watts. Not Doctor, Mr. Watts. And this girl noticed me, flirting with her. And I was kind of a flirty guy with these girls. I didn't know. But I wasn't sure what to do about some girls. Just different that year. So I was flirting with this girl, and she comes up to me, and she plays with my ears. Like you see how Kagome comes up to Inuyasha and plays with his ears, his dog ears. Well, this girl came up to me, and, well, what can I say? She's the likeness of Kagome, maybe. Well, I don't know what they're going to do about that, really. If she's still alive and around, I don't know where she would be today. But I remember she kind of reminded me of this Kagome. What's the girl that does the voiceover of her? Is it Monica Story? Oh. And this Inuyasha, I forget his full name, the guy that does the voiceover for Inuyasha, but the likeness and the some of the events, things that happen with Inuyasha are different. So when Kagome comes up to Inuyasha, he's sleeping on a tree. I was always drugged up with anxiety medicine, Buspar, Klonopin that year. So when I went to class, I was sleeping in science class. I was half asleep, half awake, mostly asleep, maybe like 80% asleep and 20% awake, whatever at times. And this girl I'm flirting with, but I'm like mostly asleep. I'm flirting with her. The teacher's teaching something about the solar system and science. And then she comes up to me and just plays with my ears. And then it helps me to wake up. And it kind of wakes me up because she's a pretty girl and she just plays with my ears and she walks away because class is over at that time. And that's reminded me of the time when Kagome goes up to Inuyasha, plays with his ears. He's on the sacred tree. There's a sacred arrow inside Inuyasha that put him to sleep on the tree. To me, even Kikyo is someone else too. Kikyo reminds me of someone else too, and these are like claims that I'm really getting into this because this is another claim too I have. This is the speculation. This is like a possibility of a claim with Inuyasha. There was some jewel. There was something in my eye when I was a child. And I don't know if I ever know any truth about that, but there was something in my eye. And I mean, I'm not going to say nothing. I believe I remember something like that. That may go really far, but I don't even know if they're going to have documented records of that today, if I can prove any of that today. But really, that might be stretching it too far. I don't know. But I can remember going to a class with this lady. Her name was Mrs. Bryles. Mrs. Bryles, yes. And she passed around these shards in this little vials, just like Inuyasha. And they pass it around, and it looked just like the damn shard from Inuyasha. It was pink, right? And it's just what I remember. And the same girl that was in my karate class, she actually came to this Baptist Park school. I don't know if the administrator, Mr. Cook, is alive today. Perhaps his family's alive today. Mr. Cook, this is a private school, Christianity and that, bless his soul. But I don't know if he's alive, he's around today, and they must have used these ideas and made like a secular type of a game, excuse me, a secular type of a cartoon series for Japan. Because I talk about Japan sometimes, even with the staff and people at this park when it was around, and they must have used some of these ideas, came up with some ideas, and made this Inuyasha series what it is. That's something else I can describe later. I know a whole lot more information about some events, some dialogue they used for a song called Every Heart. They used that dialogue to make that song. That's something I don't want to just take money from, but, well, it's a claim. I don't know what to do about it. I told this girl, the same girl I'm talking about, the dialogue they used to make Every Heart. And the dialogue used is the words I said. And there's reason why I said those words. Maybe I'm just, well, I don't want to say it's embarrassing, but there's reasons why I used the dialogue that made Every Heart, the song, the track. That's the Japanese track in Inuyasha. They, they probably questioned the girl what. Uh-oh, there it is. Uh-oh, there it is. The the monitor, boop, 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 the dog at your door. There it is. Okay, I guess I better stop pretty soon. It's broadcast. I'll start a new one called Part 4, perhaps. Thank you, everyone. This is Retro Uzuki 81.